Alyssa, big week. We got a regional here in Fayetteville, and the road to Oklahoma City goes through northwest Arkansas. This is some exciting times.
It really is. You know, I got to tell you, Phil, watching that selection show and seeing the videos and the pictures out of that selection show, tough to kind of not get emotional a little bit for this softball team and where they've been. And got to talk with Mary Half and Hannah McEwen and Lenny Malkin about, you know, how far this program has come just since they were freshmen in 2018 and buying into what Courtney Deifel was selling. And, I mean, I've been here since 2013 and have seen some of the bad. And so it's just really cool, again, to watch this softball team have the kind of success it's having.
Well, and you know, want to get out of this regional and host one. And maybe even get Texas. So who cares who it's going to be? But, man, that would be awesome if it would be Texas.
That would be so cool.
But
I was going to say Taylor Ellsworth, she transferred in from Texas.
Yeah.
And her walk-up song is All My Exes Live in Texas. I mean, it would just be perfect.
Now, that's somebody with a sense of humor. That's somebody who knows exactly what she was doing the moment she'd made that decision. What a beautiful thing for Taylor to do. This is all right. Is Princeton the cute Northeast team that we always see in the baseball regional that gets adopted, that really doesn't have much of a chance, but ends up like out in the outfield with the Arkansas fans calling the Hogs? You know, once they've been eliminated, is that what Princeton is?
I think so. I know that they're just kind of excited to be a part of this regional, and nothing at all glamorous about the Ivy League, but we don't even see really many Ivy League schools come to Fayetteville, so that's kind of unique and different. I do know this, Phil. They're going to be the smartest bunch out there for sure. But, you know, I don't think Arkansas is going to have any problem, and I bet they're going to come here and have a lot of fun. Hopefully they enjoy the atmosphere, and I know that Hog fans are going to be great to them. So, they could be the Fayetteville darling of such outside of the Hogs.
Well, Oregon-Wichita State certainly looks like a really good matchup. Oregon's a team that's really speed-oriented, and Wichita State's kind of like Arkansas as far as offense is concerned. In fact, they've hit more home runs than Arkansas, which you can only say a couple other teams have done. Two other teams have more home runs than the Razorbacks, and one of them is in this regional.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's what Courtney Deifel was alluding to, and she said that this is going to be a tough regional. You know, they beat Wichita State already earlier this season, but you're absolutely, Phil, they're like 3-4, Arkansas and Wichita State is in home runs, and then I think they're, 2-3 or 3-4 in batting average overall nationally. So two very, very equal teams offensively. Obviously, Wichita State just hasn't played the kind of caliber teams that Arkansas does just because you're in the SEC. But that's going to be fun. And, hey, if you like the long ball and chicks dig the long ball, we're going to see a lot of them at Bogle this weekend.
Yeah, that you definitely will. Alyssa, while that's going on and everybody's super excited, so positive about what Courtney Deifel and the softball team has done, the negativity just continues to grow around baseball, and especially after losing 2 out of 3 against Vanderbilt at home, losing your first home series of the season. You've been here obviously way longer than I have been around this program, been around some great teams, been around very few not so good ones. Well, what's your main feeling for why the negativity is there?
I think it's just got a lot to do with history. Listening to Mike Irwin yesterday, he made a really good point. Alabama fans are going to be upset if Alabama football isn't competing at a caliber that they're expected to do because of the success that they've had historically. And so Arkansas baseball fans are going to feel kind of the same way. They're a little upset. They feel like this team isn't where it should be or could be or have been. So I think a lot of it is historical perspective a little bit, especially, last year, and people see the potential that this team has, and they might not be living up to that potential right now. And I think Dave Van Horn has said that. He said, look, we got to play. We got to be better. I mean, they've got to win 2 games in Alabama to be a top 4 seed in the SEC tournament. They've got Texas A&M on their heels right now, tied with them for the West. And, you know, there was talk when they went down to A&M that this could be a little foreshadowing, that Arkansas, after A&M, has a very tough road ahead of them in the SEC, whereas Texas A&M had a little bit of an easier road. And you got to continue to win ball games to keep up in the West. You know, you talk, Drew, about just perspective. I Phil might understand where I'm coming from. Like, anytime all this happens, and I know that we don't always want to compare teams between now, I got to remind myself about this could be 2016, and it's not, so it's okay. And I saw what happened in 15, where they went to Oklahoma State and won that regional, and then somehow, you know, because of some circumstances, lucked out and hosted a Supers, and it's okay. You know, so as the perspective I have as a media member, I have to remind myself, like, I've seen worse. I've seen different routes to the College World Series. This isn't over. You know, things can happen, things can turn around, things can change. But I understand 100% where people are coming from. And unfortunately, right now, the one thing that I hate to see or feel in my gut might be happening, and I hope that I'm wrong, is you want to be trending in the right direction right now. It's kind of like basketball. You want to be trending in February and into March. Is this team trending in the right direction? And right now the answer is no. And they've got to find a way to turn that around, because everyone else in the country that can compete for a College World Series is starting to trend in a really upward direction. Of course, we see Tennessee, who's been trending that way all year.
Mm-hmm. And I think you've hit the nail on the hammer on oh, goodness gracious. The head on the...
Nail on the head.
Nail on the head. Thank you. Goodness gracious.
You're welcome.
The nail on the head.
You.
Thank you, Alyssa. With your assessment, and kind of just how I think most people feel about it's been too up and down, where while you've only lost 3 series all year, it just has never felt like a steady, you know, upward projection. It's always felt like you're going up and then you drop down a little, up, down, and now obviously here at the low point. And do you think, I think obviously sweeping Alabama would make a lot of people feel a little bit better, but is it going to take, you know, possibly winning by 8 or more for all 3 games to get people really excited and really bought back into this team going into Hoover? Is it going to take something that dominant of a performance?
You know, I think it, you know, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's going to take a dominant performance against Alabama to make people feel better. I don't know if you jump all the way to 100% bought in and excited, because I think right now baseball fans are just weary, you know, like at this point, okay, you just went and swept Alabama, but that's kind of what you were supposed to do. Now here's the SEC tournament. What are you going to do now? Honestly, to make this fan base truly buy into this team and say, yeah, there's a way that they're going to get to Omaha and compete for a national title, they got to win the SEC tournament. I truly believe that. I think they got to go win the SEC tournament and prove, look, we might have stumbled with some of these teams throughout the year. We're here to play ball now. We're not messing around anymore. We're going to beat Tennessee. We're going to win the SEC tournament, take that momentum into your regionals, your super regionals, and beyond. But that's truly kind of what I think it's going to take, because I still think even if you sweep Alabama and you go to Hoover and you're lackluster in Hoover, we're right back to where we started.
Mm-hmm. Now, Alyssa, I do have to ask, because it is the big news of the day,
sure,
and it's all on our text line, all on our YouTube stream. We got to know whether we can be friends after today or not, because I need to know which side of this battle line you really lie on. Are you a Coke or Pepsi person? And I please be honest.
Ooh, I'm a Coke person.
Okay, good.
I am. Oh, okay, so I have a funny story about that. Do I have time to tell a story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't really discriminate against Pepsi products. I don't think Pepsi tastes very good. But so when I was playing competitive softball, we were up in Bloomington, Indiana for the USSSA national tournament. You know, you win, you're in the national champions, whatever, of USSSA softball. So we're up there, and I'm a little older, so I was still playing competitive slow pitch softball. So I was in middle school, but the competitive was still slow pitch. Anyways, double elimination tournament. We had lost a day or two before, and we're going through the losers bracket, and we've got to play this team called Coca-Cola. I guess they were sponsored by Coke, but they were Coca-Cola across their chest. And we went to extra innings and ended up this one girl home run, almost caught but didn't, over the fence, win it for Coca-Cola. And I remember being 12 years old saying, I am never drinking a Coke ever again, ever. I'm never drinking it. It's gross. I hate it. I was so angry. And I'm pretty sure that lasted about 6 months, because that's how superior I think Coke products are. I couldn't, even after getting my heart broken and stomped on by a team with Coca-Cola across their chest, I still couldn't not drink Coke.
So with every Coke you drink, there is a tear that is shed down your cheek.
Well, and I was catching that game, and I can still see her swinging and that ball going over and I just, like, it still haunts me to this day, but I still drink Coke.
Oh, man.
So
you are a prisoner of your taste buds then, Alyssa. Very much
I
so.
am.
Partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.